Hello guys, this is Octavius in North American Archery. Thank you so much for tuning into our channel. Today I want to talk to you about something that is important, to me at least, and many of you, is how to get good at traditional archery. You see, a lot of times we think getting good at traditional archery is going to boil down to practice, 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 And I understand that. That is a lot to do with it, is taking the time of shooting your bow and honing the craft and just getting better overall, understanding your equipment and building a relationship with your traditional bow. However, there's other factors that you have to consider as well that'll help you stay in traditional archery long term. And sometimes it's very difficult with some of the things that I'm going to share with you. But over the years, I've found that these eight things, these eight areas of my journey is so important for me to stay committed and actually want to shoot a traditional bow, go hunting with traditional bows, and to study how to be better at traditional archery throughout my life. So I want to make sure that you understand that there's a lot out here that people say that may not be true, but what I'm telling you today, to me, is definitely the truth. So I hope this helps you in your traditional archery journey. Number one, develop a passion for it. It's so essential as a traditional archer to develop a passion for the actual craft. What do I mean by passion? I mean you look forward to it when you go out to shoot. It's not laborsome, it's not a burden for you to pick up a traditional bow and begin to shoot it. Right now I'm holding my soccer stick bow. I'm building a relationship with it. I have a review coming up about it, but I'm taking the time of just shooting it, tuning arrows to it, going to 3D shoots with it, and hopefully here in a couple of weeks go hunting with it and just build a relationship with it. But I'm building a passion about this particular bow. And first is just a bow in a box, right, that I got custom built. But as time goes on, I look forward to shooting it. Also, not only having a passion for your actual bow or the equipment, but a passion of what traditional archery brings to you in general. How does it make you feel? Is it your zen? Are you able to go out and take the cares of the world out of your mind and just focus on what you're doing that day? There's only so many things for me that can actually do that. One is traditional archery. The other one is my relationship with the Lord, me worshiping the Lord, me reading the Word of God, me going to church with my family. Those are the two areas for me that really help me separate from the cares of this world, if you will. And so I'm very thankful to the Lord for that. Number two, do not be afraid of failure. It's so essential in traditional archery that you do not be afraid of failure, that you're not afraid of failing, because you're going to fail, but you're going to succeed on the backside. You need to try new things. You need to try new equipment. You need to go and stretch out and try to shoot at 30, 40, 50 yards. Not saying you're going to hunt that. Not saying you're going to go shoot a traditional course that far away. But what you want to do is you want to try to stretch out your horizon to try to get better. And so when you do that, at times, you're going to fail. And that's fine. I know that I've missed a lot of animals when I've been traditional bow hunting. It was about just putting an animal down. I'll just take my 30-30, and just go ahead and go out there and get it done, right? But when I go hog hunting, deer hunting, whatever it is that I'm hunting with a bow, small game hunting, I'm not looking at if I will miss. I'm looking at the experience. I'm looking at, hey, you know what? I enjoy doing this and it makes me happy, so I'm gonna do that. And so people will go hunting with me and say, man, you couldn't hit a thing. And that same individual is going out with a shotgun or a rifle in the hunting party that I'm in. And I'm like, okay, that individual is looking at it as a failure. I'm looking at it as a success because I enjoy what I'm doing, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put meat in the freezer. It just may take me a couple more attempts, or I might have to get a little closer to that animal. So failure is a matter of perspective. It's not necessarily a destination that you're going to just rest in, okay, that you're going to be a failure in traditional archery. It's just you're going to have moments that you fail, but you also have moments that you will become an overcomer, and you will begin to succeed. Number three, and this is so important, is you have to have a teachable heart. In traditional archery, there's so much to learn, but a lot of people feel like they know everything and they don't want to be taught. When I get around other people that have been doing this a lot longer than me, or maybe less than me, depending on what they do. They might be a competition archer, or they might just go to the Olympics. They might be going to Olympic trials. They might do a lot of different things. I've met different people doing different things in the community, and I'm like, wow, that was a pretty good technique. I like your shooting motion. I like your form. I like your shot process. I like your equipment. I like how you are able to do X, Y, or Z. And I learned from people that came before me, and the ones that are very serious, that shoot more than me and have a better knack for traditional archery in general. And so I'm teachable. Even though sometimes I run into people that think I'm an expert, I'm not an expert. I'm just a person passionate about the actual craft. But I'm going to remain teachable. But in order to remain teachable, you have to walk in humility. And so we also have to walk in humility in traditional archery, which a lot of us do a good job. It's just that sometimes you run across the individual that doesn't. They don't want to learn anything. They think they know everything. So you got to understand that's going to be a journey for you. And you just have to hang in there and remain teachable and not ever feel like you have arrived, even when you pass those up around you in the craft. Number four is practice with a purpose. It's so important to practice with a purpose, and what I mean by that is, why are you shooting this target? Why are you going to the 3D range? Okay, why are you going stump shooting? All those different things are essential, but practice with a purpose means today you might be working on judging yardage, or working on your shot process, or your aiming method, honing it in. Maybe you're a stream walker. Maybe you shoot with a gap. Whatever it is, work on one thing even as you practice. So like last time I went traditional bow hunting, I was working on finding out the right arrow that's going to fly the best out of this stalker stick bow. I wasn't worried about yardage or anything like that. Even if I missed, it didn't matter. I was seeing what grain per pound arrow do I want to shoot through this stalker stick bow, and I landed on the right one. But I shot 5 or 6 different arrows over and over again to figure out what this bow would like to be shot out of it. What was the most quietest, what had the good trajectory, and what just felt good when it released from the string towards the target. So that's what I was working on that day. So in your practice with a purpose means pick something and begin to work on that even while you're practicing and having fun with your family or your friends. Number 5, obtain one-on-one coaching in person. Sometimes it's good to go get a coach, not necessarily all the time at a archery range or somebody off Facebook, but even with people that you see on YouTube or you see at a traditional archery course. Give them an opportunity to teach you something one-on-one. I've had people teach me things one-on-one every single year, just about, that I've been in traditional archery, just getting them to see something that maybe I'm not seeing and see how I can improve. I remember one time I was at a 3D shoot a couple years back, and I had an individual come up to me and say, I really do think that you need to get more back into your anchor. He was seeing that I was short drawing a lot more than I actually realized. So then what I began to do is I began to go and approach my shot and I begin to rotate my scapula, rotate that shoulder and get it around, even though I shoot, as soon as I hit anchor, I begin to rotate my back more, he said, and then hit my second point of reference and then let the arrow go. He was an archery coach that actually coached a lot of guys that were going to the Olympic trials, and he was shooting with me on a 3D course here in Texas. So I was like, you know what, that's pretty cool. And so I had a teaching lesson right there. And so sometimes you'll run into an archery coach, and sometimes you can go out and get a coach. And YouTube coaching, like I'm doing right now, is great, but do not rule out one-on-one coaching. It's essential when it comes to improving and being good at traditional archery. Number 6 is set goals and work on achieving them. That's so essential, to set a goal and achieve them. It'll help you have milestones in your journey. Set a goal of what animal you want to harvest this year. Set a goal of, hey, I want to shoot out to 30 yards this year. Set a goal of, hey, I want to group 3 arrows together, or I want to group 6 arrows together. Set a goal of, I want to shoot at different yardages in one session. I want to shoot 20, 30, 40, 50, back to 5, whatever it is. Set goals that you want to go up in poundage, or be able to shoot or tune your arrows is another goal. A lot of guys have never tuned arrows to their bow. That's another goal you can have. But there's always goals that you can set that when you achieve them, it encourages you to continue the archery journey. Number 7, do not be a lone ranger. Join the trad community. I was bad at this. I would go out and just be a lone ranger, guys. Just do my own thing. A lot of us that are bow hunters at heart, that we love to go out in the woods and be alone and really stalk the animal, or find the right tree, or the right area to put that pop-up line at. We like to be alone, right? But in traditional archery, when you get into the actual craft, you need to be in community and not be a lone ranger, because you're going to be better long term by allowing others to have influence on you that came before you and that are currently at the level you're at. And you also have an opportunity to teach those underneath you that are just getting into the sport. So don't be a lone ranger. Join the trad gang so that you're able to really profit and also benefit from the community. And number 8, avoid spending money to mask deficiency. Avoid spending money to mask deficiency. So a lot of times we spend a lot of money in order to mask problems that we have. What does that even mean, right? What it means is like, let's say this stalker stick bow right here. Beautiful bow, right? Not cheap. Okay, this is an expensive bow for most people to buy. But I've been shooting for a long time, and I know what I like, right? A lot of people think by buying a bow like this, you will automatically be great. No, you won't. Okay, if anything, you will be more frustrated because you spend all this money in designing a bow to do what you think is going to help you do, and you still have bad archery form, you still have a poor release, you still have the wrong arrows for the bow, you're still not understanding where to put your knocking point at, you're not even grouping arrows with the cheap Amazon bow yet. It has nothing to do with the equipment most of the time. Most of the bows you shoot today from any Boyer or even on Amazon is going to get the job done. Okay, it's 2025 at the airing of this video, and most bows I've shot, even if they're a little noisy, even if they don't feel good upon release, I could harvest any animal that I want to harvest it with, and I also can get the job done with any 3D course that I go to. And I've shot cheap bows all the way up to very Cadillac type bows, if you will, like this premium stalker stick bow. So it's not going to make you any better. It's almost like a musician can take a guitar that is $25 from the back warehouse at the pawn shop and still be able to do his riff, right? with it. Doesn't matter. Just tune it. He's ready to go. Or he can get a Les Paul that is way up here that's signed by some guitarist, and he's still going to do the same thing. He may be able to have some better tone. He might be able to do a couple more features on the guitar, but that guitarist that's a professional can do it on any guitar you hand him. He'll just plug it into the amp and he'll get the job done. Same thing with a bow. You can have a very expensive bow, but you should be able to do it with any bow that somebody puts in your hand. So don't spend a lot of time and money on bows and equipment. 350 bucks for a dozen arrows, and then all of a sudden you think those arrows are going to fly better than the arrows that are like $150. You need to understand that just because you spend a lot of money on something doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to make you good at traditional archery. What it will do is it will put you in a situation where you're going to be frustrated thinking that these things are going to make you a lot better than they really will. So guys, I hope this helps you. I wanted to give you something that'll help you this summer when you get into traditional archery, or you're practicing more, or you're trying to get to the next level in the craft, to help you understand how to get good at the traditional archery thing. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people message me, a lot of people ask me how to do this, this, or this. A lot of it is mental, a lot of it's attitude, a lot of it is the approach and how you look at the actual craft, not necessarily what equipment you're using, how long you're practicing, and how you are perceived by other people around you. It's more about your attitude, like I said, and the way you go about what you're doing. All right, so I hope this helps you. I appreciate everything you guys are doing. Please like and subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and remember this: you don't have to get ready when you stay ready. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.